I've been trying to start a YouTube channel called The Unoptimized Life about optimization and all the shit that I hear about optimization. And it's been really frustrating because I think the content that I was trying to create is inauthentic. Inauthentic because it's not coming from like the heart of what I'm feeling. 7.5 years ago, I got my real estate license because I'd been in basically the fashion industry doing bags, backpacks, luggage, and belt design since 1999. I got out of college in 1995. It took me 10 years to get out of college because I was a single mom and I wasn't really focused on school. I had an art degree. I got out of college in 95. I wasn't going to work on computers. I wasn't going to do anything relating to computers. It was pre-computer era. Computers were just starting to become the thing. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I like the real stuff, tactile. I was an art major. I didn't study graphic design. I should have done in interior design because that's where I have an aptitude. But obviously, if you can see my place, you probably don't think so. But what happened was I got out of college and my brother got me a job, basically. It's a long story. There's a long story here. But the Unoptimized Life. So the reason why I wanted to start the Unoptimized Life channel is because I'm on a real estate team now. And all they do is focus on production. And yes, you're a salesperson. You have to produce. You have to make money. And how are you going to make money? You're going to make money from working with clients. And how are you going to get clients? By networking, by being connected to Zillow and having the phone ring because people are clicking on houses that they want to go see from Zillow. So a lot of the people on the team have their phones on 24/7 and are showing houses and completely burned out. My first couple of years in real estate were kind of hit or miss because I lived in one town in New York where I didn't grow up, didn't know anybody. And then my ex and I moved back to New Jersey. And then we separated during COVID. I moved back to New York. And then I didn't know if I was going to stay in New York after we got divorced. So I thought about going back to Texas, which I did for 4 months. So that's pretty much my first 2 years of real estate. When I finally got focused after dealing with a lot of the personal life issues, I was working pretty much 7 days a week. There were some months where I was working 30 days a week, and Saturday nights I'm submitting offers, and it's just working. So at the end of 2025, I decided that intentional fun was going to be my mantra for 2026. And so I've been focusing on intentional fun. And I joined a real estate team. I had a team of 13 agents, and we rolled up under the number one team in our area. But the main push for the team is to just constantly be answering the phone and optimizing and just like fucking going for it all the time. So for the team, the thing about this team is it's intense. It's like constantly intense. It's driven, intense, high production standards, phone call, like working with clients like all the time. And it's overwhelming. And that's pretty much why I wanted to start this channel. And I was just thinking about the videos that I've put out so far, and I've put out 3 on the Unoptimized Life talking about procrastination and things like that. You know, in a lot of ways, when you start a YouTube channel, you want it to be good. You don't know what you're doing. And I just know that the reason I started it is because it was so stressful. What I really want to do is, these are the things I love to do. Paint. I'm a painter. These are not my best paintings. My best paintings are over in my art studio. It's a new style that I've kind of stumbled upon this year. And then the other thing that I really love is trading options at short put vertical credit spreads, which I love because you collect premium, and I've put everything into a spreadsheet, and it's fucking amazing. The projections on the amount of premium you collect, it's like compounding your account every month. And optimizing your life is, yeah, sure, it's something you can do. You can get 1% better every day. You can work harder. You can call more people. You can network more. You could show more houses. And you can just basically dedicate your entire life to output. But what I'm finding is if I sit here in front of my computer for 30 minutes a day, well, it took me a little bit to learn the short put vertical credit spreads, but when I realized that I could put a trade on that was going to close anywhere from 45 days to 150 days, and I could collect cash and then I could just know that it's going to be there, and then I can close the trade and I can put on another trade and collect more cash, and I can put on the trade and collect more cash. It's so different than trading stocks, which is like you put a trade on in a stock at a certain price, let's say $100. And why do most people put on trades in stocks? Because the stock price is going up and people are super excited about it. So, or people buy the dip. So if you're putting a trade on at $100 while a stock is starting to go up, guess what? A lot of other people might be selling the stock at $100, and so now you've just put a trade on at $100, and your stock and the stock price drops to $99 or $85, and or you buy the dip, and guess what? The dip keeps on dipping, and it doesn't stop dipping. And then the problem is with this stuff. Let me see. Different than options is that a short put vertical credit spread is basically a play where the stock can go three different directions. It can go up, it can go down, it can stay neutral, and it can do all three of those things at any time between now and 45 days. It could even go lower than what you bought it for, and it can go back up above what you bought it for within that 45-day period, and you can still make money because you've already made money when you put the trade on. And the reason why I decided to create this channel in the first place is just because I'm so over being told to optimize things and being pushed to make phone calls and all that kind of stuff. And I'm at an age in my life where I've done a lot of my career stuff, and I've made a lot of big moves in my life. Moved to Germany, from Texas to New Jersey, from New Jersey to Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania to New York, and then thinking about going back to Texas again. Got a degree in art, which pretty much has no practical application unless you're already in the art world. And then I ended up getting on computers and doing graphic design. In '95, I went to Ohio from Texas and worked at an arts magazine for 3 months and started using Quark Express. And then that was the foundation for the rest of my career on computers was using Quark Express to do page layout for this arts magazine where I was doing interviews and stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy. But back to optimization. If you're being told, and this is the whole point of my channel, is if you're being told to optimize your life, to get 1% better every day, these are not the right questions to ask. Like, these are not the things you need to be addressing, like how to get 1% better every day. You need to ask yourself, like, is the thing you're trying to get 1% better at even something you want to be doing? Or is this career that you're in even somewhere that you want to be? Are all these things that people are pushing you to do even things that you really want to be doing? Are the life choices that you're faced with right now the things you really want to be making decisions about? Or is this just, are you doing what you think you should do, on what you ought to do? There's another video I talked about that, the ideal self, the ought self, and then the person you are right now. And like there's a big disconnect between who we want the ideal person of us to be and who we think we ought to be, and then actually who we are right now versus where we want to go. And yeah, if you're not where you want to be, then learn the skills to get you there, but decide if the thing that you really want to do is the thing that you're really working towards, okay? So anyway, that's my whole deal about optimization. That's why I started this channel, and hope you stick around because I want to try to be more authentic as I move forward.